Hey everyone, it's Jayla. Welcome back to another video. Am I out of my filming slump? Probably not, but today's video is dedicated to a good cause, and so I really am excited to be filming this today. If you're not aware, lupus is an autoimmune disease that attacks the tissues and organs within your own body, and I do have a booktube friend that is closely impacted by this disease. She decided that she wanted to raise awareness this May, and she decided to ask all of us to wear purple, so you'll probably be seeing a bunch of videos of people wearing purple, and so I am now one of them. I apparently don't wear purple, so I found this in my mom's closet. It's like this gigantic hoodie, and I'm making it work. I do kind of think it fits the theme of today's video because you could say that I look like I'm going through a breakup maybe. And so I have this on today because it's all I had, but also today I'm going to be doing the sour tag, or actually it's the Olivia Rodrigo tag, which was created by Sam Young's Books over on Instagram, and they kindly tagged me in it. So I'm gonna link their tag down below because that's the original tag, and I also will link their channel because they do have a YouTube channel, so you should go subscribe. So it was initially an Instagram tag, but I decided to make a video of it because hey, it's been a while. I need to film something, and I thought this would be a really fun one because I love doing music and book-related conversations. So let's hop into this one.
God, it's brutal out here.
So my favorite bookish bad boy would have to be Noah Shaw from The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, or the Mara Dyer trilogy. I think as far as bad boys go, he's not the toughest, he's not the most intense, or anything like that, but high school Jayla was really affected. He smoked cigarettes, he got into fights at school, he was very reckless and like just didn't care about himself, which is a problem. It's a red flag. I know he should seek therapy, but it all comes into context when you read the actual book, so I would recommend, because this is one of my favorite trilogies and I just love this series and I think you should read it. But there is a line in the first book that I can't remember and I should have looked it up before filming this, but it's just like Mara is looking at him smoking a cigarette and she's like, I know cigarettes are bad, but he makes them look so good. And I was like, yes, I feel the same way. Don't smoke. Smoking is bad. But if you're hot, still don't smoke. But just do it as a metaphor. But no, seriously, I just love this man. Dark hair, blue eyes, British accent, just, and just so devoted. Favorite bad boy right here for sure.
Guess you didn't cheat, but you're still a traitor.
I really don't think I do this very often, but I'll say the Brenda Jackson whatevers that I'll put a picture of up here, because I didn't think I would hate the first book that I read in this little reading vlog series that I'm doing, which is only 2 videos. I can't really call it a series, but anyway, I didn't think I would hate the book, but I do think that when I read it the second time, I knew I wasn't going to enjoy it as much, and I was right. I read Stone Cold Surrender back in August, I think, and it's just not a good book. It's just not a good book. And then I read Riding the Storm. Yes, that's what it's called. Then I read Riding the Storm back in February. And again, I had lower expectations, but somehow it was just more boring than the first one. And it wasn't as problematic, but it was just more boring. And I just did not enjoy it at all. I really don't buy or read books that I think I'm going to hate, because why would I A, spend money on them, and B, waste time on them because I want to enjoy what I'm reading. But I think that would be the one exception where I was like, this is probably just going to be a fun vlog, and it's not going to be anything more than that.
Got my driver's license last week.
So for this one, I don't have an answer. I'm kind of sad by that. I can't think of anything that makes me feel free. What does it mean to feel free? I don't know. I don't have an answer for this one, but I kind of I'll just say Heartstopper. I'm going to say Heartstopper, but honestly, those books make me depressed. They make me think, wow, where's love? When will I get it? How do I get it? How do people talk to each other? And it makes me feel sad. But I do love those books, and I think that they do make me feel happy in the moment because they're so cute and adorable and lovely. But where's my person?
It's always one step forward and 3 steps back.
My favorite book couple who went through way too much speaks for itself. Katniss and Peeta from the Hunger Games. They did not deserve all that they went through. Although, would they have ended up together if they hadn't gone through everything they went through? Because I don't think they would have, and that's a really sad thought to me. Peeta just would never have talked to her, and she would have probably married Gale and been content. Anyway, I'm sure you've all read this book by now, and if you haven't, you've at least seen the movies, so I feel like I can freely talk about what happens in these books. Although I do know some people who haven't read The Hunger Games, and so now I won't because I want you to read it, so go read it, please. There's obviously a Hunger Games in here, and that's something to go through, and that's really going to put a test on the relationship when you have to do it twice, and some other stuff happens to them, and they deserve the happiest of endings, but yeah, this is the couple that went through the mostest, for sure.
Do you get deja vu when she's with you?
A book that I cannot stop reading would definitely be The Winter's Curse by Marie Rakotsky. This is another one of my favorite trilogies. It is a fantasy, I would say it's like a fantasy light fantasy story set in this fictional world where we have this gigantic empire that's gone around and colonized all these other little continents around it. And then there's like a love story between one of the general's daughter and one of the people who's enslaved, but there is more to him than there seems to be. And this book is so good. This series is so good. I would say like 1 is good, 2 is okay because it's like that book. You know how book 2s can be sometimes. And then 3 is fantastic. But if you like war and romance, obviously, I was about to say strategy, what I meant to say strategy, and I combined it with strategic. But anyway, if you like strategy, thinking, political intrigue, court intrigue, like all those things, it is in here, and I think you'll enjoy it. I reread this book a lot. I think I've reread it 5 times now. I've only reread the entire series maybe 3 times. But I just really love this book. I'm probably going to read it again this year. I find it to be a comfort read, maybe. I don't know. But this is one that I think I'm fine with having deja vu. I don't care because I'll read it over and over again and still feel all the things that I felt the first time.
Good for you, I guess you moved on really easily.
Next one is Good for You, an overhyped book you didn't like. And I would like you to put your guesses in the comments before I share my answer. If you've paid any sort of attention on this channel, then you'll probably know that this is my answer. That's not what it is, oops. A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire and The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout were 2 highly anticipated sequels to From Blood and Ash because I really enjoyed From Blood and Ash. And these 2 books really flopped hard. They were not good. This one was gigantic filler book 2. And nothing happens at all. It's all dialogue, which is sometimes fine because the dialogue can be funny, but a lot of the time it's just overkill. Again, nothing really happens, but it's supposed to set up a lot that happens in The Crown of Gilded Bones, which I can see that it kind of does, but this book was just also disappointing to me. Very slow, a lot's not really happening, kind of just follows their day-to-day for a little bit of it. Takes forever for the major plot points to happen, and it just didn't do what it needed to do. And again, Jennifer L. Armentrout really tried to overkill with the jokes and the dialogue in this book, and it made me want to bang my head into a wall repeatedly. So yeah, this was a highly anticipated series, and I don't think I'm going to be finishing it. There's 6 books. I can't put myself through this anymore. And I'm really upset that I bought the Bookish Box special editions of these because those are coming this month, in June, I mean, and yeah, I'm gonna get a whole box with all these goodies and stuff that I paid too much money for, and I didn't even enjoy the 2nd and 3rd book, so that's great. Love that for me. If anybody wants to buy that off of me, hit me up, because I know I just sold it so well for you, and you definitely want it now.
All I ever wanted was to be enough for you.
Okay, Enough for You is about a favorite OG series that you've moved on from, and I don't really have one of those. I feel like my favorite OG series would be The Hunger Games. That's what really got me into reading, like, as a fan, and got me into my first fandom. But before that, I guess I could say any of the things I read as a kid. I don't read Goosebumps anymore. I don't read Magic Treehouse anymore. I think those were some of my favorite series, and I still have my Goosebumps books over there somewhere, and I could show them to you, but I won't. But I don't read them. My Magic Treehouse books are long gone.
I hope you're happy, but don't be happier.
For Happier, it was a book that gave you the worst book hangover. So I have a little story time for this one, which is that I read Berserk Apocalypse. I don't remember what year I read this. This is an underrated series. Check it out if you like science fiction, apocalypse, it's in the name kind of stuff. Or like about to be apocalypse, like the lead up to an apocalypse, possibly. Anyway, read this book. There is a major character death in here that I was not prepared for, and it fucked me up. For life, honestly. I'm still not recovered from it, but especially when I was 16, 17, whenever I read this, I was messed up by this book. And so I had to stop reading for a bit. I was too fragile. I couldn't handle anything, and it was just too much for me, and so I didn't read for weeks. Then I was like, let me get back into the game. I miss reading. I really want to read more again, and I picked up Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken, and the ending of this book really was uncalled for. And it really messed me up as well, because I had just recovered from one thing only to be thrust back into agony. So I was already very delicate, and then I read this, and I broke. These two books definitely put me in a hangover, not in the fun kind of way where it was just so good and so amazing that you can't pick up anything else because what could even compare, but these were good books. I just also was hurt by them. And in that way, I was hungover because I had a headache, a heartache, if you will, and I was sick with longing, with grief, with just why did this happen, and who told them they could do this to me.
But jealousy started following me.
So for a book I would do anything to move to, I think that one meant just where I would want to live, like in a fictional setting. I don't even think it has to be like a fantasy world or anything, but just like what book would you want to move into if you could live in that world forever or whatever. And so I chose the Grishaverse because I really, really loved the cities and the countries that we explored when we went into specifically Six of Crows. We spent most of our time in Ravka in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, but in here we get to move around a lot more, and I just really loved exploring those places. I know I probably am not tough enough to survive in this world. I'm not smart enough or cunning enough, and I'd probably end up penniless and just living in a box somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I'd go to the Wandering Isle. They're chill over there. Seems like nice people I wouldn't have any problems with, but I feel like other places I'd probably need some good friends, and I'd need to join a gang to survive. I'd love to maybe not live in, but explore Ketterdam. I definitely wouldn't go to Fjorda because I feel like I would not be welcome there as a brown person, but that's just me. They give off very much like white supremacist vibes, which is not cute.
Well, I hope I was your favorite crime.
So a book I ditched my social life to finish. I don't know if I've ever... That's not true. I've definitely done it, but I can't think of a book right now. But for this one, I'm going to go with From Blood and Ash, which I guess all the books are going to make an appearance in this video. But I talk about a lot how this one I really deprioritized everything else in my life because I was really invested in finishing this book. So I had to do some all-nighters to keep up with the work I was doing for work, and then also the work I was doing for school because I had school projects to turn in and papers to write, and I just didn't do them because I wanted to read. And so I think this kind of embodies what this question is asking, even if it wasn't my social life that was at jeopardy. It was simply the actual important things. Not that social life isn't important, but I have a job to do and I'm paying to go to school, and so those things should come first. And yet,
I hope that you're okay.
And finally, for the last one, Hope You're Okay. What do I regret DNFing or unhauling? For this, I'm going to do an Ember in the Ashes. I unhauled an Ember in the Ashes last summer, and I don't know, there's something about it that makes me feel like I shouldn't have. Everyone is loving the series. I know some people who are starting to say that it wasn't as good. Like, I know one person. So only one person. But other than that, everyone is loving the series, and the books I think are fine. I think the last book just came out, and so it's come to a close. And I just feel like I miss out on something really big. And I was at the bookstore the other day, and I ended up finding the new copies, a new copy of A Torch Against the Night. And it's like the floppy fun version, and obviously I found it at a thrift store, so it was cheaper, and I was like, I can get this for $2.95, like, okay. But it's also the sequel. I unhauled both An Ember in the Ashes and A Torch Against the Night when I had them in hardcover. I had tried to read An Ember in the Ashes, and I could not get past chapter 1, unfortunately, but maybe I just was not in the right mood, and I really should have just tried again, even though I tried like 3 times to start that book and it just didn't work. But yeah, so I bought this, and I'm hoping that I can find a matching first book it's just really dumb that I unhauled them only to go and buy them again, but I feel like I need to give those books another try, and everyone is saying how good they are, and I just know that I missed out on something good. I hope. Otherwise, I just wasted more money. But anyway, that is the end of this tag. Thank you so much for watching this video. I didn't think far enough ahead to tag people in this, so I'm going to leave some in the description who I think should do it. It is initially an Instagram tag, but Sam had no problem with me making a video about it, so I guess you could do it in whatever format you want to do it in too. So hopefully I'll get to see those very soon. Shout out to Sam for creating this tag. Again, go follow his Instagram, go follow his YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. YouTube loves to see it. Personally, I really love to see it too, so it would be really helpful for me. Feel free to also subscribe to my channel and follow any of the links below that lead to my social media. Okay, that's it. I'm done talking. Thanks again for watching this video. Feel free to go watch another one, and until next time, stay chill. That's not what I say. I don't know what that was. Bye.